Hey, great to have you. It's the Joe Pags Show. Great radio stations all over. iHeartRadio, Newsmax TV. Pleasure to have you along for the ride talking about Hillary Clinton and the fake I'm sorry. Did I say fake diagnosis a minute ago? I didn't mean to say that. Well, I noticed in the video she walks out of Chelsea's apartment where I guess she was cool with infecting Chelsea and the granddaughter. It is a granddaughter, right?
Yes,
so.
It is. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And then a little girl runs up to her on the street as if anybody can just get to Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Did you see that video? The little girl runs up to her.
I know. I thought about that. I was like,
just out of the blue, she's allowed to run up to Hillary Clinton.
People? Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing she was sent by her people. And then she stops to take a picture with the little girl and puts her head down by the little girl, I guess, in the hope of infecting the little girl with pneumonia.
Yeah. That, as a parent, no. Not
that,
cool with
I think, is what we're supposed to believe. 1-800-383-9624. Get into the idiots on the the players in the NFL in a moment here. But first, let me go to the phone lines and say hi to Don in Floresville, Texas. Hi, Don. What's going on?
Hey, it's John. How you doing, Joe?
Hi, John. Hey, listen, I'll call you John if you'd rather, but we all know it's Don. Let's be honest.
Okay, well, alien. Hey, the thing I got here is sort of like an integrity issue over that party. Just taking what you know or what you see on TV. She has pneumonia. They knew it as of Friday.
Right.
Pneumonia is not something you catch the day before yesterday, so it's in your system or you had it for a while.
Right.
I'm sure she has a great medical staff that looks over her and her family, but is her party pushing her to say, look, you need to go out and shake hands, be in the public? Hey, you feel strong enough to put your clothes on and get out? I mean...
No. I mean, no. The DNC doesn't. Hold on. The DNC doesn't run her. She runs them. Believe me, the Clinton machine is running the DNC. Trust me, that's what's going on. So no, it's not her party. It's her knowing that she has to get out there and do something, and it's also her, I believe, knowing that she doesn't have a contagious thing like pneumonia. If she did, she wouldn't be in closed quarters doing a speech Friday night. She wouldn't be at the memorial on Sunday. She wouldn't have gone to her daughter's apartment where she could infect her grandchild and wouldn't be hanging out with a little girl who wants to take a picture on the street. I mean, obviously, and I'm not a doctor, but it's obvious to me this is not pneumonia.
Yeah, like you said earlier, we'll just go with what we saw. If that was it, the case was you just spoke about it. You're exposing people. You're going out in public, exposing others. You know, I'm conservative. I'm not voting for her, but I don't want to see her die either.
I don't either. I'm not hoping she has bad. I'm not hoping she has bad health. I'm just hoping that they're being truthful with her and being truthful with the American voters, because those who want to vote for somebody don't want to vote for somebody who might have such a medical issue that they couldn't do the job. And the voters have the right to know. John, I appreciate you calling in. 1-800-383-9624. One more quick one to Carol in Florence, Oregon. Hi, Carol. What's going on?
Hi, Joe. One of the deplorables here.
You are so deplorable.
I wanted to tell you from personal experience, my husband has been diagnosed with Parkinson's since
Sorry to hear that.
2007, and it's been tough. And everybody's different. I facilitated Parkinson's support group, and I've been doing that for 6 years.
Okay.
I've been watching Hillary, and the masking of the face, the still facial muscles, and the bradykinesia is what she has, which is real slow movements. And what happens is they will freeze, and that's where she's falling.
Right.
My husband's fallen several times, broke his hip.
Yeah.
And the dangerous part of this is that it can also be accompanied by Lewy body dementia, which is very common. But you can't diagnose anybody just by looking at them. However, when her carbidopa levodopa wears off, she will have a tendency to fall. And that is what is happening with her.
Well, she was going down yesterday for sure. Carol, I always appreciate the phone call. She was definitely going down. There's no doubt if people weren't there to catch her, I don't have to be a doctor to know she was going to face plant. That was going to happen. And, in fact, she was so limp that it appeared as though they had to take her limp body and put it inside the Scooby van So there's something serious going on there, something very serious going on there. And one would have to make the educated assumption that it is not contagious like pneumonia because she went where she could have infected her daughter and her granddaughter and could have infected everybody that she was around, could have infected everybody in that van. They're smart enough to know it's not some contagious disease or some contagious virus or ailment, whatever. Also, had it been pneumonia, they would have said that on Friday. They would have said, hey, she's got a bout with pneumonia. She's going to try to get to the 9/11 memorial. Might not happen. She's dealing with it. They didn't do that because they didn't have to yet. They didn't have to come up with a reason yet. I also want to talk about the basket of deplorables. Now, let's separate her health issues, and clearly there are health issues. Let's separate that from what she said about Trump voters. At least half of his voters, in her mind, she said, are from a basket of deplorables. Now think about that. She tells half of, 12 to 15 million in the primaries, that they are disgusting, deplorable people. Calling somebody deplorable isn't a nice thing. It's a bit of a negative thing. You go on Twitter. As a matter of fact, Carrie, I'd like for people to do this right now. Mm-hmm. Just to show how negative it is, go on my Twitter right now. It's Joe Talk Show, JoeTalkshow, at Joe Talk Show. And I want you to just tweet me, I am one of the hashtag deplorables, and do hashtag deplorables. Let's just fill up the Twitter. Oh, by the way, just as a side note, that Sean King idiot from the New York Daily News or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know the guy who's a race-baiting, Black Lives Matter idiot?
Yeah, oh yeah.
He was on somebody's page today saying something about something, and I responded. And I basically said, you're full of crap. And he wrote me, he said, who are you talking to? Like, he's a skinny little dork. And I guess he was threatening me or something through Twitter. I don't know. It was very weird. Who are you talking to? I said, you. You should be embarrassed, with your hate-driven, disgusting attacks and division and blah blah. You should apologize to Twitter and to your readers or something. I mean, it's a very strange place, that Twitter. It's different than Facebook in that on Facebook you can have a conversation. As negative as people can be on Facebook, and there are plenty of negative people out there. On Twitter, you only have a short amount of time. So people, A, write in broken English, and B, just attack. They don't take the time to figure out who you are, what you stand for, what you've said. I went as far as to say I am MLK today. Boy, that just lit everybody up.
Oh, I bet it
I
did.
am MLK. I live the way that he wanted us to live. I live his dream. And yeah, I want social justice. But when you're a dork quarterback and you're sitting down for the national anthem and you're saying you're doing it until there's equality and no more oppression or something, you need to cite some examples that you're talking about. The idea that police are out willy-nilly shooting, innocent black people as they walk down the street is not happening. Do we have a history of violence against minorities in this country, and slavery and Jim Crow and lynching? Yes. The Democrat Party did all of that. I agree with you. The Democrats did all of that. The KKK is the military arm of the Democratic Party. Yes, I agree with you. It's a horrible history. Thank God we had the Civil War and we settled it. I hate that 600,000 people had to die in settling it. And I hate that, the only slave owners who owned slaves back then were Democrats. I wish nobody owned slaves. But what we've done is now we've come 150, 160 years later, and we're pretending that the Republicans did all the bad stuff. And idiots like Sean King and idiots like Colin Kaepernick and idiots like the Miami Dolphins players who need to focus on learning how to play the game so that my team can start winning again and not kneel or put their fists up or whatever. I mean, at some point, either come up with a valid reason why you're doing it. Because some guy, sent me a picture of Alton Sterling after he'd been shot today. I gave the history of Alton Sterling and that this exact thing happened before. And nobody's talking about it, but in Baton Rouge, it was a black customer at that store who called the police to say they were threatened with a guy with a gun out front. And it was Alton Sterling. That's according to police. But if we say that he died because cops were looking to kill somebody, well, then somehow it's true, and Colin Kaepernick should collect his double-digit millions of dollars every year to be a backup quarterback in the NFL and sit on the bench to prove some weird point. It's all very strange. It just is. We can have a real conversation about this, and we might be able to solve some problems if we're truthful about it. We're not being truthful about it. The players who aren't standing up. And do you think it was irony, Kerry, or coincidence that this protest by, I guess there were 14 players total in the NFL, which means the
Yeah.
vast majority stood and did the right thing. But about 14 players total in the NFL kneeled or sat or did something. You think it's ironic or it's coincidence that it happened on 9/11, on the anniversary of 9/11?
I don't know.
I think it's a little of both. I mean, it certainly coincided.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a coincidence. But it was truly ironic. I think ironic to the level of proving how stupid the people who were doing this are. That they did it on 9/11 and it
On
didn't phase
9/11
them.
too.
It didn't phase them. You know what I mean?
I thought it was so tacky. and
Yeah,
disgusting.
extremely tacky. And I'm glad
Not
that
on
people
9/11.
called him out. Now, at the same time, there was another football player, a great guy, and the NFL said, you can't do this. A football player named Billy Hobbs. He shared, I guess, the artist, Billy Hobbs, of True Blue Customs, and I have to look over here to see this. Shared a photo of the custom cleats that he designed for Tennessee Titans linebacker Avery Williamson. Avery Williamson is the player. He was going to wear 9/11 cleats. It says never forget on there. It shows the Twin Towers. It says 9/11-01. And the NFL told him you can't wear those cleats. You can't wear them. The NFL told the Dallas Cowboys you can't memorialize those Dallas police officers who were killed, nor do something special on your uniform for the Dallas police to show solidarity. Yet the NFL sits quietly by or even comments approvingly to people like Colin Kaepernick and the other idiots, Brandon Marshall, who aren't standing for the national anthem. That's their right, but it's their First Amendment right to protest or freely express themselves or freely speak, but it's not okay. It's not your right. They would have fined this guy $5,000. Now, he didn't want to be the center of attention, didn't Avery Williamson, so he didn't do it. But he has the cleats, and maybe he'll auction them off, and maybe it'll help somebody. But they were going to fine him, and they told the Dallas Cowboys you can't do that solidarity with the cops, as they allow Colin Kaepernick to wear pig socks. Where the cop is supposed to be cops on his socks, and they're pigs, and he's allowed to sit during the national anthem. So you can make rules that you can't support the police, you can't support the flag or this great land on 9/11, but you can sit down and show disrespect to the police, and you can show disrespect to the flag of this great land. It's very, very strange. It's a precarious place the NFL is putting itself, because I am one of the biggest NFL fans you'll ever meet. I mean, it's Choney time from start to finish on Sunday for 15 hours of me watching football and supporting your league, buying, shirts for my Dolphins and hats and everything else. And I'm here to tell you I am disengaged, and I'm not the only one. And for those people out there who truly think Colin Kaepernick's jersey is selling like hotcakes because people are supporting him, I'm here to tell you. Hello, I'm here to tell you they're buying them to burn them. He's not suddenly popular. Trust me. 1-800-383-9624. 1-800-383-9624. JoePags.com. Coming right back.